What's
What's
up,
up?
dude? So you shaved the beard, huh?
A little bit, yeah. You know,
Right
getting
on.
time.
Dude,
What's
that's
up, man? I
rad.
like the beat in the background.
Yeah, so taking advice from all of my crypto mentors, I plan on living on the beach one day. I mean, I already do in Laguna Beach, but we're talking Puerto Rico or Hawaii or something like that. So
How far are you from the beach?
0.8 miles. So we walk there every day.
So I'm gonna fly out and come visit for a few days.
Yeah, you should.
I'll bring my board.
There's great places to stay right by here too that are like really, really sick. Like you're on the freaking water and it's just like being on vacation.
I
It's
usually stay
cool.
at the beach hostel for $26 a night.
Where?
Venice Beach, or it's the Same Sun Hostel on Venice Beach.
Oh, okay,
It's,
cool. So
it's that building right on the corner, like that faces the beach.
yeah.
But you can get like an actual room, like for 2 people, and it's only like $130.
That's
And
cool.
you like wake up on the beach and then walk the boardwalk and do all the fucking Venice things.
Yeah, Venice is rad, man. It's definitely a different vibe up there in the LA beaches than it is down here in the Orange County beaches. So it's fun though.
Yeah, I mean, there's some amazing surf spots over where you're at.
Yeah, we're blessed. I mean, San Clemente is like 20-minute drive from here. So you got
Trestles, upper
Yeah.
and lower Trestles.
Yep.
I mean, you've got Torrey Pines. There's some good spots over there. And then obviously one of my favorite places is PB, but also Sunset Cliffs in San Diego.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you don't have to paddle out, you just cliffs.
Well, that's nice. I do like, so yeah, I do like surfing. So here in Laguna, it's a lot of rock bottom. You got the rock reefs and stuff like that. So it's nice because you get the waves pop up. You can see the boils where it's going to happen, everything. But I do like Newport Beach, Huntington Beach, where you can literally, like when you're a kid, like boogie boarding, you can just stand there and jump into a wave. So like Huntington and Newport, a lot of times, depending on the tide, you can just stand there, jump in, do 2 paddles, and then you're riding a wave. So it's a lot of fun.
That's how most of Texas is. It's a lot of just jump start paddling.
Yeah. Just cruising on the waves.
Yeah, I've got a fuckload of surfboards. I've slowly but surely I've been placing them at friends' houses around the United States. So I've got a surfboard in El Porto right now. I got one in San Diego. I could bring one up to your house and leave it at your place.
Yeah, I have a room for it. And you know what's funny too? Like
5 boards in here right now.
So there's a company that does that with golf clubs. I'm surprised there isn't a company that does that with surfboards, where you can go to destinations and you have like timeshares of surfboards.
Really? It's a great idea.
Yeah, I know. Cause like golfing, right? So if let's say you go to Hawaii, there's a timeshare golf club thing you can get where when you fly to Hawaii, instead of taking your set of clubs, and they have high quality stuff too. It's not like, Walmart brand things. So you go to Hawaii and you use this company and you get there and you pick up your bag and you're good to go. I mean, a lot of people are picky about, yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people are picky about their, golf clubs specifically because of sizes. So I can get that. But a surfboard, if you could have a good range of different things that you could pick up anywhere you go.
10 or 12 surfboards to choose from every destination, like surf destination. That's actually kind of genius.
Yeah. All right, so we'll plan on making that happen too.
There's another business idea. We actually just thought of one that's pretty clever. I think we're gonna run with it. Is NFT geotagging.
Yeah.
So think about it. So when somebody's selling, for example, a painting from an unknown painter, how do you sell it? You say, hey, here's a really beautiful painting that's not known by anybody and nobody gives a fuck about this guy. Is that how you sell it? No. Well, this guy was in France and he met the queen and they did this and he painted that, right? It always goes with the story. So if you can, for example, if I'm a famous person, if I'm, I don't know, Little Nas X or what, demon shoes on, and then I take a picture in Barbados wearing my demon shoes, and then I post that picture on the blockchain and tag it to my NFT. Now the NFT is worth no more because it's no longer just the Nas X devil shoes. It's now the Nas X devil shoes that was worn by Nas X in Barbados, as well as Spain, as well.
Yeah. And you know, it's interesting. So we were just watching, because, you know, Jamie, my girlfriend's a professional artist, and we were just watching a show on Netflix about counterfeit art and how crazy that can be, right? So there was this gallery that ended up selling like several $100 million worth of counterfeit art, and they ended up having to get shut down and sued and things. But there is a thing, and it's art research. I'm trying to look it up right now. I forget what it's called, but there's like a specific word that when you can find the lineage of art and you go all the way back and you dig up the details, like you said, where was this piece of art?
The patent of the item.
But now you're going to have blockchain that takes care of all of that, and it will be legit. So like with Jamie, she sells her pieces and she gives them a letter of authenticity. So that gives them some of that. But now we can sell them a piece with the letter of authenticity for real, a digital copy, and also the NFT all in one piece. You know what I mean? So there's extra value of that now.
Well, there's also these things called certified, uncertified NFTs. Right, so like Garbage Pail Kids, right? Those are worth a lot of money. Well, let's say that back in the day, I decided to come out with my own Garbage Pail Kids.
Right.
And then that one, for some reason, became more popular because, let's say I was a poor kid and I couldn't buy them, so I made my own, but then I kept them and then I turned them into digital images. And so now people are selling certified, uncertified copies of things for more than what the actual original item is going.
That's interesting.
It's just like if somebody were to do a spin-off of the what is it called? The crypto bots or the crypto punks.
Yeah.
Somebody were to do a spin-off of the crypto punks and they were to create certified, uncertified crypto punks, but then they only did like a series of 5. And then they would sell them as certified, uncertified crypto punks. And then you could put a stupid, retarded price on it if you were to pay for it.
Yeah. Well, it's similar because I know that they just created the Pokemon, right? Polkemon or something. So they're kind of trying to play off Pokemon, but they created, I think it was on Nifty Gateway that someone has that now launched. I'm not 100% sure what platform they're selling them on, but those were really popular. You know, people are swooping those up. NFTs are definitely an interesting thing. You know, the one thing that's
I personally will never buy an NFT other than if it's a digital space where I can create a business.
Yeah, see, and that's what I was thinking too, because I mean, it's artificial value in something because of hype right now, but later on, it's going to be great for real things, like we talked about art. It's gonna be great for that. It's gonna be great for homes, real homes, digital homes, like Decentraland. It's gonna be awesome for that.
Yeah, well,
a real house.
So like the NFT market it's gonna phase out and become serious.
Yeah.
It's gonna phase out and become serious, and people are gonna take the seriousness to the next level. And then all that shit that we bought to create the NFT market, all that shit is not gonna matter.
Yeah, it'll still be cool.
A lot of these buys, like the $49 million buy, I think that, you know, the first, you know, digital art, whatever, this guy that sold this 49 million.
Yeah, all of Beeple's pieces in one piece.
Coming from people who are investing in the NFT market, in the sense that they're the ones who are going to be selling them. So they know if they sell this one thing where there's $49 million value in this one product, then you can start pushing out other shit NFTs. People can buy them, make money on them, and then the whole market's going to crumble and then shift to essentially all it is a verification process. It's a fancy way to verify something.
Yeah, you know what's really interesting too? It's like, so we used to hear about things like the Matrix, and oh my God, you're plugging into the Matrix. And the more and more some of this stuff comes out, it's like people are encouraging to dive into the Matrix, because if they buy this digital piece of art, they can hang this digital piece of art in their digital home that they built in their digital land where they're wearing their VR goggles. And like, that's where they're really excited about going. And that is going to be cool. But it's like you realize that you're the self-fulfilling prophecy of the Matrix is you're going to plug into the Neuralink Elon Musk is already making, and you're just going to sit in a vat of water. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty interesting to think about where we're going and like the futuristicness of all of this.
Listen, man, people take drugs. The people that aren't going to take drugs, they're going to go into VR.
Yep.
I mean, everybody wants to escape reality at some point. Now the Matrix is the real thing. I
It is a
don't know.
real
I
thing.
don't give a fuck about VR, but yeah.
It is definitely a real thing, and it's getting more and more real, and it's pretty exciting. So, obviously you got to keep your wits about you, stay grounded, got to get out there. That's why I love surfing, because I mean, especially with all the digital stuff, the computer, the marketing and things that I do anyway outside of it, going to surf, getting in touch with nature. I know like a couple of my friends love to go camping and things like that. So I encourage that for all of our digital entrepreneurs out there to stay grounded as well, and get that going spiritually, get in touch with the universe.
Yeah, for sure. So we're covering Coinbase rollout.
Yep.
It's really interesting.
It
Are
is
you recording
interesting.
already?
Yeah, I'm recording. I've got it all.
Well, yeah, let's kind of dive into some stuff. So, I kind of like doing these videos with you. It's
Yeah, it's
kind
fun.
of informative. A few of our friends have said that they learned quite a bit. So,
I do like it that
yeah,
it's
market's
long
on fire,
form.
bro. Market's on fire.
Dude.
Fire.
Oh my gosh.
Everything. It doesn't matter. Hey, guess what? Crypto world. It doesn't matter what you're buying. It's on fire.
I know.
It's like no one's talking on our groups today because it's like, oh, this is up 30%. Well, fucking so are 9 of these other ones.
I know, right? Because usually in the
I do
group,
find it
everyone's
funny
like,
that I pushed out of UMA about a week ago because UMA's been stagnant for about a month and a half.
yep.
And so I shifted into I sold off to a little bit more into VeChain and Harmony and Holochain. And of course, VeChain's up and everything. Tron, actually I put a little bit in Tron too. Holo went up about 11% today, but then of course UMA goes up 30-something% today, and I'm like, go fuck figure. But short term versus the long term, it still was a better trade anyway.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm learning that because I've tried to play the game where you're chasing the next big one, right? And so the smarter thing to do is to just earn more capital and put more capital in. So don't sell the one that has massive gains to go chase this other one that could massive gain, because you never know. You might hit 3 in a row that are all drops, and now you're like, shoot, my $6,000 that I had is back to $4,000, and I worked for a year to get it to $6,000. So it's just smarter, because especially right now, like you said, the bull run, you're putting some money in, wait a month, it's going to go back up. Like, don't freak out. A lot of people are just, they get their first loss. So we mentioned Coinbase, right? So let's go back to that. A lot of these brand new investors, brand new crypto traders. And I'm not talking about the investors that bought the IPO and things, but I'm talking about Coinbase as like the most trusted name in crypto, you could say, because they have safe cryptos. Whatever you buy on Coinbase is a real legitimate project. It's not one of those, hope you make yourself a millionaire by going to $1 project, which those are cool and fun too, but you can be safe on Coinbase, and those are great projects to invest in.
They're real projects.
Yeah.
Things that have value, things that are backed by something other than, we should talk about Dogecoin a little bit. I feel like all the crypto guys, we all secretly hate Dogecoin, but the reality is it's here to stay. I mean, the market cap's now at 17 billion. But I feel like, just so people can understand what Dogecoin is, it's just another Bitcoin, basically. It doesn't really have any value other than just stored value. And the majority of people that are investing in Dogecoin are not big time players. They're just retail investors. They're guys like you and me. And then I'm going to bet that, in a $17 billion market cap, I'm going to bet Elon Musk owns a large portion of that. So what you're really looking at is it's just a space where all these young people who are getting into crypto that are utilizing media and God knows what else, and they're pumping this coin just to try and rake profits off of each other versus actually putting their money into currencies that actually have some sort of value.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk on that a little bit, right? Because meme coins are really cool, but it's almost like a Ponzi scheme, right? Oh, I got in this meme coin early. I'm going to get my friend in it when it hits $1 because it's so awesome. Well, your friend bought it at $1 and now everyone's sold out and everyone's made money except for your friends that you told to get in there. And just for me, when I think about those things, like consciously, like I feel like, dang, one, if you get in now, is it too late? We don't know. but also like if you are first mover, first in, and it doesn't have a real project behind it, when it does come tumbling down, like, I mean, do you have any feelings for your friends that got in too late, or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're like kind of leaving them in the dust, and it's just kind of like, well, now you just got to hold, you know.
yeah,
And I mean, you know, if you look at Dogecoin when it had its first big jump back in, I think January or February, I guess that was in February, late January maybe. You know, same thing, meme stock, push, push, push. Most likely what happened back then, I think the market cap reached about 10 billion. More than likely, it was probably about $5 billion of Elon Musk money, and then split between a shitload of wallets, and then slow drift to increase this. And then you got these young retail investors throwing their money in. And if you put, you know, if you put in down here, you're great. But then, you know, an hour, 2 hours later, you call your friend and they get in here, and then Elon dumps 2 million or 2 billion of that. Well, then that's going to cause a sell-off frenzy for people who don't know what the hell they're doing. And, you know, they buy in, you know, $100, and, you know, it goes up to 150, and then all of a sudden it drops down to 80. They freak out and then they sell.
yeah.
Well, that $20, as soon as the sell-off is finished, he who controls the market is the one who controls when it goes back up. So then, you know, a guy like Elon just buys back in, and he just took, you know, $500,000 or $1 million or 2 million or 500 million off the table. And it wasn't institutional money. It's all just retail money. Probably half of it is currently sitting in there. There's probably money that was given to them by the government.
Yeah. So yeah, I know, right? Well, and the question goes to that, with Elon being the holder, is he the humanitarian that he seems to be, and he's just going to hold that forever and hold the price up? Or would he do something crazy like, oh man, just dunk on people? I don't see, like, if it is him that's holding it, luckily it's him that's holding it. Like, I mean, if you had some other whale out there that was just holding it all and just like wanted to be a freaking, basically a world ruiner for a lot of people, you know what I mean? Like just dumping a bag on people, and they would just be stuck there with nothing. So,
well, yeah, and I mean, personally, I don't think that a guy like Elon Musk is set out to do anything. And in all honesty, I do see 17B doubling. I mean, I don't see any reason why Dogecoin won't double. It's just from a economic standpoint, you know, the crypto world's currently now sitting at about 2.6 trillion.
yep.
You know, since our last video, it's increased by a few hundred billion. I mean, so, you know, 17 billion, that's 17 billion that could be shared between projects like, you know, Chainlink, Cardano, you know, VeChain, you know, Holochain, things that actually matter, right? So if we want this economy to grow, we need more blockchains, we need more projects. We don't need just a space where people are fucking literally battling out money. Like, oh, I'm going to go put my money here, and I'm going to go put my money here, and we're going to battle each other out, see who sells first. That's essentially what's going on with Dogecoin.
Yeah.
You know, and it is a risk, and it's not a risk that you should be investing in. I mean, sure, you know, some people made 100% or 1x gains this week, and people are freaking out about it. And it's like, okay, well, XRP went up 200% this week.
Yeah.
And that's actually useful technology. You know, VeChain's gone up quite a bit this week. Useful technology. You know, all these other things that are going up, useful technology. But that 17B is definitely keeping a lot of projects from potentially increasing. You know, if all 17B of that went to Bitcoin, for example, that would create a better overall economy for the majority of the other spaces. You know, or if it went on Ethereum projects, you know, it's gonna fast track a lot of these Ethereum projects and make things much faster versus stagnating over here in this space where people are just using money to try and make more money.
Okay, so with Coinbase, we talked about the IPO today. Coinbase is on pause, right? So a lot of people are having trouble logging in because of the Ethereum situation. So could you talk a little bit on the Ethereum situation? What's going on with Ethereum?
Yeah, well, so first of all, this is funny. So what I love is, you know, the SEC doesn't consider crypto money, yet here we are, and the stock exchange is now accepting Coinbase as a securities, which is apparently a place where we're trading
not money.
money, you know, but it's not money. You know? So I think that's really funny, first of all, that, you know, all of a sudden, you know, the stock exchange, you know, a year ago, they're like, no, this is all bullshit. And here we are now, two kids who started a company in their garage when Bitcoin was at $8 a share. It's pretty cool. Bravo to them, first of all. Coinbase, it's pretty awesome. And again, it's trusted because they've only got projects on Coinbase. I mean, Coinbase total has what, like maybe 60 assets? Maybe.
Yeah. I'm not even sure the total is probably under that.
Yeah, and I mean, there's how many cryptocurrencies are there currently? There's maybe 1 million, and I mean, Coinbase only has like 40 or 50, and those are the ones that you look at, and they have daily gains, they have weekly gains, they have monthly gains every single month. All these projects are going up 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100%.
Yeah.
So what's really crazy is the big computer we talked about last time, the big computer of the crypto world, Ethereum, however you want to say it, tomato. They are switching how their blockchain works. So basically, they paused one giant blockchain and they're introducing a whole new blockchain essentially. And currently, it has paused all trading of all ERC20 tokens, which is kind of crazy because of the pause. No one is really moving, but you can still buy coins, and I think that's one of the reasons that you're seeing all these ERC20 tokens pop today. I mean, anything ERC, anything Ethereum. What, by the way, ERC20 token means that it's built on the Ethereum blockchain, right? So Ethereum is a blockchain. You've got projects, aka companies that build stuff, and then you've got, like, for example, Tron. You've got projects, aka companies that build on their blockchain. So the biggest blockchain is making this huge move to lower fees, transaction fees, increase the amount of time that it takes for transactions to happen on the blockchain. And they've been working on this project for like 2 years, 2 or 3 years. And they're finally rolling it out. Just kind of crazy. They roll it out at the same time Coinbase IPO gets rolled out. Which was crazy. I think initially the IPO was going to come out at 250, right?
Yeah.
The valuation of like 65 billion or something, and it's already up to like 400 something today. I don't even know what the numbers are, but I'm not in the stock market. Great for Coinbase coming out with their IPO, but I don't mess with the stock exchange at all. So I'm gonna stay out of that one. I got out of the stock exchange after the GameStop short.
So Coinbase is now at 322 officially. It did spike to 410, it looks like. 410.
Okay, yeah. So then so that means the market cap's up to what, like 80?
I don't have that in front of me. I would have to find that. I'm just using TradingView looking at the chart.
Yeah, I had a feeling it would come up and then go down. So I mean, most people bought in at like 318. So really, no one's made any money.
And an interesting thing here, it's definitely worth holding, though. I mean, long term, but
Yeah, for the hodl, but for the initial rollout, I wasn't surprised. People were like, "Oh, it's gonna be crazy." There's been a lot of talk.
We haven't even gotten earnings we have not gotten earnings for the quarter yet, which should then conclude with another spike because their earnings have been crazy. Like the multiplication of earnings every single quarter is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, the more that people buy into crypto, the more it goes up. The one thing I will say that's good about Coinbase IPO being released is it definitely is going to create a lot more trust in the crypto industry.
Yep.
And you're going to find a lot of people are going to start using Coinbase.
I have a lot of friends who are I have a lot of stock friends who are like, okay, now tell me about Coinbase, how to use it. And I was like, all right, cool. Here's the link. Here's my referral. Give me my $10.
Here's my $10, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how much, I mean, the exposure is going to be great. I think for just a lot of people, and again, on the same video, it's not too early to get into crypto. People think that like, oh, I just had a 2-hour conversation with one of the guys on our group today, just helping him make some decisions regarding his crypto assets and stuff. And, he just got in a month and a half ago, just got onto our group, and he's had friends insisting that he get invested in crypto, and including myself and a bunch of other people. And over the last year, he's just watched all of his peers around him just save a shit ton of money. And he finally is just like, I'm going to do it. And his biggest thing is he's like, I'm worried. Is it too early? You know, hey, the market's going berserk right now with the rollout of Coinbase and the ERC20 tokens kind of being jammed up today. And he's like, should I wait? And I'm like, dude, from a micro perspective, if you want to wait 2 days, maybe you'll see a drop in the market, maybe this weekend. But from a macro perspective, it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, you're talking, you know, oh, maybe, you know, you got a 2% better buying position or 4% better buying position, but over the long term, I mean, we're going to see so much growth. And to solidify things, you know, this year we've gone from $1 trillion market cap to a $2.4 trillion market cap. So in crypto's 2009 to now history, up until January, we had about $1 trillion in the market, and now there's 2.4 trillion. And that number, you know, financial analysts are saying it might end up being around 5 to 7 trillion by the end of the year.
Wow.
You know, so I mean, if you look at it in terms of a macro and not a micro, and we're only at 2.5, 2.5 plus 2.5 is 5. That's a 1x growth. So I don't know why people are currently investing in the stock exchange, because I don't know from now to the end of the year where I can blindly put money in the stock market and get a 1x return. But in crypto, I could blindly put money on essentially anything on Coinbase and pretty much guarantee that I'm going to have a 1x return by the end of the year.
Yeah, it's funny because I do also have some stocks and I'm wanting to pull them out, but they're in drawdown, and I'm like, is it worth it to just take them out even now that they're in drawdown and put them into crypto because it's going to go up, or do I wait 4, 5, 6 months till it breaks even, then get it out? So, you know, like I know a lot of people are going through that right now because the market has been crazy volatile as well with stocks. I'm thinking about, I'm just going to take it out, take the loss, and then I'm going to put it into crypto that I see that's going to make the money back. And then hopefully within a month, it's already back. Macro looking, you know, and that's another thing too.
I cut 4 losses, man, on my Ameritrade. I pulled them out and put in a crypto in a matter of a month. I was already up 15% on my initial investment.
Very nice.
You know, and I was probably down on my stocks, maybe my lowest, maybe 20% down.
Yeah, well, that's a big move.
And then I had to take a cut. But the great part is I didn't have to pay any cap gains. You know, I just moved the money right over to crypto, and then boom, it's back up. So
yeah.
I mean, I would do it, man. I would do it. I mean,
and by the way, everyone listening, this is not financial advice. We're just doing financial education and entertainment here. But yeah, consult a financial advisor as well. But for fun.
Yeah, we're not financial advisors, man. I don't.
But hey, but for fun tips, if you're playing with money and you want to do some stuff, these are some great tips. So we got the Coinbase rollout. We know Ethereum did their transfer. We got the stall going. You had also mentioned Holochain, which is not a blockchain. It actually works a little different than blockchain, but it incorporates into blockchain.
Like a sub blockchain, yeah.
Yeah, sub blockchain. A lot of people were like, that has been, a lot of people are interested in this. A lot of people are buzzing about what's going to happen. It went up to 3 cents, came back down to like 1.5 cents, 1.6. People were like freaking out a little bit, but now it's making traction again. Do you still see a continuation for Holochain?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, any of the blockchain type technologies, you're going to see massive growth over this summer as more projects continue to roll out, because just simply, you know, there's so much opportunity, and it's a lot easier for me to go straight to you know, a smaller blockchain like Tron or, you know, Cardano or Holochain, and build my idea or my company or my decentralized idea, whatever, you know, industry that you happen to be in. If you want to do educational videos, start a decentralized educational company, you know. We need blockchain space. We need technology. We need the ability to utilize multiple chains, just like we have multiple computer companies, or just like we have multiple car options, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we don't want a monopoly. We don't want, you know, one internet provider. We want many internet providers. And everybody has their own, you know, twist on their technology. So the biggest thing nowadays is transactions and making them faster. And Ethereum honestly has a very slow transaction process. And there is a ton of other blocks out there that are 1,000 times better. Yeah. And even with Ethereum making some adjustments, it's still not going to be the fastest blockchain out there, but it's the biggest blockchain out there. And then that being said, you know, Holochain, last time we had this video, it was right when Holochain had gotten their approval, even though they have an open source for their project. They actually went and spent a bunch of money to get a patent on it anyway.
Yep.
And I think the intent of that was to really kind of drive people to build on their platform versus trying to steal the technology and building it elsewhere. You're seeing a lot of projects. The Ethereum-based projects are just going through the roof right now, and I don't think that they're really going to slow down. But that being said, I think a big part of that has to do with just the focus, where the focus is financially on a lot of these projects. And I think that when I feel like right now, especially with stuff like Dogecoin, it's kind of like, you know, we're in the middle of a conversation and someone says, "Oh, there's a bird."
Right.
You know what I mean? That's kind of where we're at in crypto right now. It's just like there's so many things, there's so many assets. People are just like, "Hey, I invest in this," and then instead of your friend saying, "Hey, that's a great idea," they say, "Well, hey, invest this, this, and this too." And then another friend says, "Hey, I've got that one. Invest this, this, and this." And now you've got, you know, 19 different projects and all these companies that you have to go through to figure out what the hell they are. So what's happening is we went from this investment mode to a few where everyone was making money and these projects that needed to be funded to get to where we are, right? We needed Ethereum to get funded in order to get to Ethereum to where it's at today.
Yep.
And I think Holochain, based on the numbers and just watching how they're building, you know, I still see some pretty massive growth. I think they just hit about 2 cents again. And I'm still confident. I think that Holochain is going to be somewhere around 5 cents or so, you know, midsummer. I mean, I think there's a lot of growth for Holochain. And so for a market cap, it's like a, you know, a 2x market cap. But as far as if you break down the cost per coin, it's going to be like a 10 or 15x return on individual investments. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, Holochain's good too. You know, Holochain's amazing. VeChain, which is VET. That's another one that's still really undervalued as a, you know, as a project. The project's awesome. It's good. It's ready to go, just like Holochain.
They just got some major. VeChain just got some major partners as well, as far as executive level companies, Salesforce, some other major players in the industry as far as supply chain technology, right? So basically, they help companies not lose stuff.
Right. I see VeChain doubling. I think they're about 16 or 17 cents right now. I see them doubling in the next 30 to 45 days, for sure. And then Tron should be up there. With Tron, every time you know, they hit certain numbers, like a few weeks ago, they hit 10 billion market cap, and then they cut that in half and went down to 5.5 billion. And now it's back up to about 11 billion. So they've got some pretty solid growth. And with, you know, with that amount coming off the exchanges and then going back in the matter of 2 weeks, I mean, that tells you that there's a lot of good things happening with Tron. So, I mean, I feel like right now, the biggest thing is there's a lot of these new projects and a lot of solutions that are coming out for current projects. But I feel right now, the biggest thing is people should be focused on blockchains, looking at investing in blockchains, and then maybe Ethereum solutions for the Ethereum blockchain.
Yeah.
You know, and then looking at each industry, you know, I think we talked about this last time. Filecoin is an Ethereum-based project that is basically like Dropbox, right? And that's it's at I think a $10 billion market cap. But then you've also got Storage, which is a similar type project, and I think Storage market cap's only at 1 billion. So I mean, potentially, I don't see any reason why Storage can't be a $5 billion project like Filecoin is if it's the same industry. It's another, you know, Dropbox type version. So, you know, I like I said, I think right now the biggest thing is focusing on blockchains. There's a couple of new ones that have come up that I've invested some money onto. I know I mentioned in the group Wanchain, WANCHAIN.
Yeah.
Wanchain has an incredibly low market cap. I want to say that one's only sitting at about 300 or 400 million. So there's a lot of growth opportunity that exists there. But You know, if you want to have fun with money, we're not financial advisors. You know, I'd say over the next week or two, and we mentioned this in our group and maybe on the last video, that this month, and I cannot stress this enough, this month is going to be one of the most important months in crypto history for 2021, is April of this year. I've said that back in March. I said it back at the beginning of the year. Once we get into April, this is going to be, however you position yourself in April will determine a lot of financial opportunity for you coming in the summer. Because I do feel that once we kind of hit the summer, people are going to be spending money going out. People are not investing as much. You're going to see kind of a little stagnation, maybe a bear drop. And then obviously the crypto winners, they always talk about. I'm not sure how that's going to play out because we've got all these other factors. We're going to have, you know, we've got another couple $1 trillion, free money drop that the government's printing out again. That's going to have an impact on the market, I think, in a good way. It'll also continue to decrease the US dollar. And also, it's funny, I've been telling my crypto buddies, now's a great time to buy gold and silver. Taking taking those profits and then going out and buying silver, because silver is at an all-time low. Gold's at an all-time low right now. I mean,
Some physical assets that you can hold on to no matter what.
Yeah, diversifying that portfolio. You know, I mean, if you're making 2x on a, you know, if you put $1,000 on a crypto asset and you made a 2x or a 3x return and you got $3,000 of free money, take 1,000 of that and go buy some silver.
Yeah.
You know, instead of battling, you know, which one's better, silver, you know, or crypto, it's like, well, crypto obviously is better now because look at the market. You know, crypto's kicking ass. Gold's down, I think, 6% for the entire year. Crypto's up on average, you know, like thousands percent.
Yeah.
USD's down 8 to 12%. So it's a great time to buy gold and silver. I mean, gold and silver always goes back up. You know, it's always going to be there. If it's not for the digital age, you can still use silver in, you know, some third world country somewhere. Like, I mean, it's always going to be used somewhere. So, yeah, utilizing crypto assets as a way to secure physical assets that you would otherwise have to bought using fiat, you can now buy with digital assets.
Yeah, very good idea. Having something in case everything goes wrong also is always nice to have at the same time, because you never know. So one other question. So I know that we've talked a little bit about this project with Theta. That's like so when I make a video on Theta, my subscribers really are passionate about this project, where it's going. We have the T-Fuel though, and now people are starting to ask some questions about T-Fuel. They've just announced that once mainnet 3.0 is launched, they're going to burn 25% of T-Fuel on every transaction. Because a lot of people holding T-Fuel or earning T-Fuel on the system right now are like, why am I doing this? But this is kind of big news going forward for people that want to stake T-Fuel or earn T-Fuel on the network along with Theta.
Yeah, so you know, T-Fuel is their money. So it's like, imagine Theta is an island that me and you are flying to, right? And we get there and it's its own country, so we have to use their money, right? So what happened with Theta, it went up to 14,000% return, in the last 90 days. And essentially, for people who don't know what Theta is a decentralized data streaming app. So obviously the gaming industry kind of is the one that made streaming popular, but I mean, you can stream flowers growing if you want to, or you can stream yourself playing video games. But the economy is essentially users and then content providers. And when we initially invested in Theta, you were investing in building this Theta network.
Yep.
Now that the country is built, now that there's infrastructure on the Theta Island that we have, the imaginary Theta Island over here, now they're going to start using their own currency. So in this case, it's Theta Fuel. And Theta Fuel is very underfunded because Theta Fuel is the economy, not just the company. So the market cap of whatever $13 billion is probably what Theta is at right now. T-Fuel, there's no T-Fuel can't be more than that because there's more content than there is a company.
Yeah.
So, T-Fuels at one point got up to about 58 cents when Theta first rolled out. It's dropped back down to about 35 cents. And what burning of coins means is opposite of the United States, where we just continue to print money and everything around us gets more expensive. With any of these other companies, just like BNB, right? So Binance coin is actually, they just burned off like 50 something, 500,000 or 500 million coins. I don't know the exact number, but they're burning off their coins. So what that means is there's going to be a shortage of coins, which means the value is the coins are naturally going to go up. So over the next 3 days, you're going to see BNB, for example, you're going to see them go parabolic. You know, because it usually takes a couple days before people start seeing those changes in numbers. So when Theta releases this mainnet, not only is it going to offer more space for people to visit Theta and more people to be on Theta, but between that and the partnerships that they're getting, you know, you've got guys that are already making $200,000 a year streaming, and a lot of these people are leaving one platform and moving over to Theta because it's 100% their money. Yeah. They're not paying the platform to have viewers view their stuff. So T-Fuel will go up quite a bit, in my opinion. With the amount of energy that was put into Theta, it's one of the fastest growing crypto assets of all time. Like, and that's because, again, it's useful, right? It's a practical thing. Yeah. Everybody can get on board with a decentralized video streaming application. You know, if I want to get on and do news, I can get on all day and talk news. Yep. And if people want to, so T-Fuel comes in hand. If I'm a guy providing video game footage and you're watching it, and then I want to charge you 5 Theta tokens to watch my video game or to watch me play my video game, then you would buy Theta and, you know, using fiat, and then you would then trade that. The difference is it will continue to increase in value because, again, we're in a new discovery world of the crypto assets. So, you know, I mean, I definitely see Theta doubling very quickly, like very soon. I mean, 35 to 70, I see no reason why it won't be that soon.
Awesome. And then last thing to cover, what not to buy, right? Because everyone wants to know what to buy, but also some people need to be careful of projects not to get into or anything like that. So if you could give some advice on, I know that the friggin' whole entire economy is exploding, but is there something to avoid in the crypto space, in your opinion?
Yeah, so there's a lot. I mean, and that's where we're going to get into some really kind of dark days, I feel like, are ahead, because people, you know, the crypto space, it becomes very easy to release an ICO, or in the crypto world, what we call an IPO. What we call in the crypto world is an ICO, an initial coin offering. And so basically, you don't even have to have a product to launch a crypto asset. There's some SEC things, but I'm not going to really get into that. But essentially, if I have an idea and I write it down on what you call a white paper, and then I have a website, and in the website I put, hey, phase 1, we're going to do this. Phase 2, we're going to do that. Phase 3, we're going to do that. And I have no projects. Those can be very questionable. But at the same time, the majority of crypto assets that are coming out are being released on ideas. So I would definitely tell people, be very weary, number one, of new crypto assets. Like if you see some new thing and it's like pumping super hard, it just came out, that's an immediate red flag. You know, because if a new coin comes out and it immediately pumps, and it, you know, and the other thing is looking at the technology, like what is it? You know, if it's just a coin to store money and transfer, you know, from one place to one place, well, there's like 10,000 of those. You know, I mean, you've got Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Pearl Coin, Raven Coin, like all these companies that don't really have any real value other than just to exchange money in a secure way. Well, we already have that. We don't need that anymore. Anybody that's creating that already, the reason they're creating it is strictly for just 100% profit. And it's not to say that, you know, people don't start companies so they can make money, but the majority of people that are creating a project-based crypto asset, they're creating it because they see a value in creating something, right? You know, and just you let business owners do their thing. So I definitely, if you read about a crypto asset and it says, hey, it's just basically another form, it's just another digital currency with no technology behind it, I wouldn't even waste my time. Even when you get those FOMO, your friend hits you up and says, hey, Dogecoin just went up 150%. It's okay, great. I'm just not. I mean, it's fine. I missed out on that 150% return. But more likely than not, you're probably not going to pan out that well.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I tell people is, look at their charts. If you see weekly and daily charts and a whole shitload of candlesticks going up and a whole shitload of candlesticks going down, probably not a safe bet.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some people, cash grabbing. The other one too is long-term projects. So projects that came out in like 2017, 2016, and they made it through the crypto winter of 2017, right? When everything went up and down, and then they're still here and they still don't have a project, yet they still have a market cap with $4 billion. It's like, what are they doing? We were actually looking at a couple assets today. I was on the phone with somebody and he was like, oh, I don't remember what it was, but he's like, what do you think about this coin? And I had never even heard of it. And it had a $6.5 billion market cap. And I started to go into it and I was reading the news on it from years ago. And it's a total trash company.
Yeah.
And sure, it looks great on charts right now. Last month it's going up, but everything's going up. So you definitely want to do your due diligence and you want to do your research, and you don't want to just buy things just because your friend tells you to. A lot of people, we have a lot of jokes, you see a lot of these memes that we pop around where, noob downloads Coinbase and looks at charts for one day and now they're a crypto expert, I just tell people, if you're new and you're a noob, go on Coinbase. The fees are higher, but the reality is all those projects are solid. They're solid projects. You'll notice that Coinbase doesn't carry Dogecoin because it's not a fucking project. It's just a place to put money and exchange money and try to battle. I mean, the easiest thing to say is, go to Coinbase. Those are your safe 50, right? Sure, there's, thousands of companies out there, but just like if you look at, when Corona started, right? In March of last year, in the stock market, where was everybody telling them to put their money? Was it a million different companies, or was it the same 5 fucking companies?
The same 5.
Amazon, Tesla, right? Like, what's the other ones? Netflix, just like that. Like, it was always the same things. And it's the same thing in crypto assets. Like, so sure, you're not going to get 10x growth in Bitcoin in the next month like you can with some other digital assets. But in order to find those giant winners, you got to do your due diligence. Like, I mean, I spend 6-8 hours a day sometimes, and I'll be doing this for a month before I find something like Holochain, or before I find something like, some other asset. In the meantime, for the last 2 or 3 years, my primary trading has been done on safe assets, which were on Coinbase.
Yeah. Well, I did like one of the tips that you gave in the group on that specific thing. Like, if you're buying in Coinbase, look at the coins that are in the red today. Those are the ones that are going to be green in a couple of days, right? So don't buy the 100% in the green, because that one already did it.
Don't chase the guys going up. Chase the ones going down.
Yeah. So
yeah,
awesome.
and I mean, and like I said, and the other thing too is, look at your market caps. Like on Coinbase, if we're talking about Filecoin and storage are very similar. The Filecoin's at 10.5 billion, storage is only at 1 billion.
So they can even out, and there's a lot more.
Some bullshit news, or somebody's going to say something, and all of a sudden a bunch of funding is going to happen on storage, and storage is going to go through.
Yeah.
And people are going to look at it and go, well, I mean, Filecoin's at 10, so we can at least get the 5. Same type of technology, useful, practical, it's going to be used. So, that's the other thing is, look at your market caps, look at what the project is, stick to safe assets. And then once you start making really good money in your safe assets, then start taking risks. If you make, like, Chainlink is an incredibly safe asset to invest into. As a matter of fact, in the last like 7 days, it's gone from 39 to 49 bucks. I mean, it's almost at $50. My initial purchase into Chainlink was like $1.62. So you know, you could store, you know, I could put, if I had $2,000 right now, and I'm not a financial advisor, but let's say I had 2,000 and I threw $1,000 on Chainlink, and then I threw $1,000 on like the graph, right? The graph is basically Google for crypto assets. Those are two safe bets, and in the matter of a year, they're going to be up, like no question about it. Now, I might not get the 100x gains, but if I can get I might not get a 100x return, but if I get a 1x return on both of those assets, well, now I'm sitting on $4,000, and then I only take out 400, and now I've got $3,600 sitting in those two assets, and I use 400, and then I put that 400 on some, you know,
YOLO coin
that came out yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, and then if that 400, you know, I mean, we've got buddies that have done a lot of that. Like we've got guys that, you know, here's a really risky, high risk, you know, asset over here, and we told a buddy to put some cash on it for like $70. Well, that $70 is now like 700.
Yep.
You know, and I mean, sure, you know, the last words of every trader is, I wish I had put more money on it, but the reality is it was an assured, safe, guaranteed way to make money. And as long as this bull run continues, anything that you buy on Coinbase, you're gonna see returns as long as you don't sell.
Awesome.
That's
well, cool. Well, Brent, man, another freaking knockdown, drag out, awesome freaking conversation. Thank you very, very much for your time. And we'll keep on doing these, because I'm glad that you got some time that you can spend with us. I know that my audience definitely enjoys hearing some of the deeper stuff, not just the news. So I'm glad that you can provide some like real deal, real world trade experience coming to the platform as well. So I really do appreciate it. And we'll talk soon. So thank you so very much.
Later, man.
See ya.